For the record, she was the one that said I love you first. She was the one.
I was hammered. I bought the Taylor Swift album and I listened to it at work all day, every day, so that I could learn some songs, because I was gonna go camping with her friends, and if they found out I didn't know the words and I wasn't cool enough, she was gonna break up with me. You looked fun, so I thought we were gonna be friends.
We are Lucy and Kelsey, and we've spent the last few years living a fully nomadic life, exploring the beautiful west coast of British Columbia. Now that we've found ourselves in Melbourne, Australia, our travel adventures are taking a slight pause while we prepare to start a new chapter of our life together. Follow us for updates as we embark on our fertility journey. You'll also likely get a bunch of adorable videos thrown in along the way of our deaf cattle dog, Jude, and some other fun adventures that we all go on.
I pulled a sick day today, and it's good because I'm actually sick, but I have a great idea. Ready? I've got to charge the battery, but do you want to be in a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. See you soon. Welcome back to Lucy's YouTube channel, which we are taking over as a couple. Okay, we're gonna talk about our relationship.
Yeah.
Oh. One of our goals for 2023 is to get better at YouTube, so we are going to post YouTube videos even if they're not perfect. We met in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So the first year was not good.
The first year I was just a different version of myself, and I think you were also. But yeah, I would say that the first year was a bit rough.
You can hear the dog roughing upstairs. Oh my god! So we met. We're gonna go through meeting and how it all went, and now how long have we been together? 2015 to now is 2020 what?
Didn't we just say we're about to celebrate 8 years?
Nearly 8 years together. We've been married for 3 and a bit.
Yep.
Anyways, we love each other, and we also love our dog. So just because she's barking upstairs and you might be able to hear it does not mean we don't love her. All right, now let's go on to how did we meet.
We have different versions about how we met.
And it could take 20 minutes to tell you. We won't tell you that. We met on Facebook.
We'll just leave it at that.
Lucy added me.
I did not add you.
We are leaving it simple. Don't argue yet. You added me. You added me. I remember. You don't remember. She added me on Facebook, and I, at the time, had recently gone through a breakup, and then I was like, I wasn't really sad about it anymore because I was like, well, it's good we broke up, but I could probably use some friends. And I really don't like meeting new people nor doing scary things. So then I was like, oh, she looks nice. And your profile said something about like, I live in Australia. I am currently in Whistler. I work in Pennsylvania, and like something else. And then everything was kind of private about her. We had no friends in common. And there was a picture of her with her hair like blowing. And she was on the side of a mountain. I think possibly smoking a cigarette, but that's beyond the point. You looked fun and mysterious, and I thought a girl needs more friends. So I thought we were gonna be friends. So we became friends.
Yeah.
And then like a month or week and a half later, I messaged her because I was like, why does this girl want to be friends with me? And she said, did we meet last night?
I thought I met Kelsey at the bar and took her home, but I was going through a bit of a phase, also through a really bad breakup, and I was drinking a lot, partying a lot, meeting a lot of different
women.
People.
Just a bit of a hoe.
And
Who's in your hoe stage?
All right.
We decided to then meet because we were going to go to like this gay event, which is like the least Kelsey thing I could have ever done.
It was called Hot Mess.
I think I accepted the idea to go to Hot Mess because I wanted to be cooler than I was, and I was never going to go. But I told her I was going, and I think that led you to believe I possibly liked girls.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why is she going?
And then she was like, oh, I'm going. And then the night of Hot Mess, she ended up in the hospital with broken ribs, and I ended up in the hospital with my roommate with 2 broken wrists. So,
and the rest is history. I picked Kelsey up in my cool sports car.
Yeah, she had a sports car with red racing stripes.
Stop.
And in the car, we get in the car after she comes in to meet my broken roommate with her broken rib. And anyways, everybody was broken, and I was like, hey, now this is weird. We gotta go on our date. We get into the car, the racing car.
Stop. This is embarrassing.
On the front seat is a teddy bear. And what's it called? A disposable camera with a little sticky note that says, let's make some memories. So then I'm like, okay, super awkward. We're in the car.
A teddy bear.
And she starts driving. And now, 8 years in, I know that Lucy's terrible with directions. She has no idea where she's going.
So
on
bad.
the first date, I was like, yeah, she's taking charge. No, she drives me out of the city.
Towards the airport and
I
past.
was like, where are we going? She's like, oh, I was just thinking maybe we'll like grab some dinner. And I was like, you just left the city.
We went for sushi, which is the most inappropriate food to eat on a first date. Don't do it. It's like, is it one mouthful? Is it two mouthfuls? We spent the whole time like... And then we went
We
to
got
paint.
sushi, we did some painting.
Yeah, I love that I'm not telling the embarrassing stories about you.
We have 8 years to get through.
Anyway, Kelsey's perfect and I was smitten from day one. For the record, she was the one that said I love you first. She was the one...
I was hammered.
Okay.
I do love you, but I do recall we woke up the next morning. I was like, well, that was a romantic way to say I love you. And I was like, was it the whiskey or was it really you? Okay, so then what? We met and life was fun and life was cool. Lucy told me if my friends don't like you, you're out.
I was very...
And I was like, oh my God, not only do I have to impress her, but I have to impress her friends. And guess what? All of her friends knew every word to every Taylor Swift song. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna fit in. I don't know any words to any songs. And then, well, Taylor Swift. So I downloaded, and this is when you had to pay for music on Apple. I bought the Taylor Swift album and I listened to it at work all day, every day, so that I could learn some songs because I was gonna go camping with her friends, and if they found out I didn't know the words and I wasn't cool enough, she was gonna break up with me.
She obviously passed the test. I was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And you said yes.
Yeah, I did.
Cute.
We went to Portugal 5 months into our relationship, so we were living in Canada. Lucy's from Australia. Lucy's parents in Australia often go to Europe or somewhere for Christmas. That's a thing that they've done forever. Her parents happen to be going to Portugal for Christmas, and she says, why don't we go? Or I think I'm gonna go. And then I was like, okay, I wanna come.
Yeah, you were helping me plan it, I think.
Yeah, before you were like, hey, why don't you come? And then so
Yeah.
we went to Portugal 5 months in, and I met her parents for the first time, which was shockingly well. It could have gone horribly in a foreign country, and then we've been like, well, now I'm stuck with these people and they don't like me.
True.
But they did like me.
Yep.
Yeah, your dad and I were throwing cheesies across the room to each other, trying to catch them in each other's mouths, and he was so angry because I was better than him.
He'll still argue to this day that he's better than you.
He's better than
It
me,
was
and
you
I
throwing
was
it.
just a very bad thrower. Oh my God, we don't need to tell the story, but I learned a lot about you.
Yep, I learned a lot about you too, Toots. Really learnt that you don't like being wrong, and I'm just gonna say one word. Foz.
Oh my God, we tried to, get to the beach.
Kelsey made us walk for 12 hours because she was too stubborn to admit that she was wrong, and we walked to what we thought was the beach. We walked to like a different
We did
state.
get to the beach.
So Portugal was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and traveling with each other or with anybody new, I think, is important. You do learn a lot, but you also like create a lot of these memories. And to think that you go on like an international trip 5 weeks into dating,
5 months.
5 months into dating, regardless, it's like, oh wow, we're actually doing this.
Well, I don't
We
know.
were not living together at that point. We moved into each other's.
You moved into my
didn't
house.
Want to live with me, but then I convinced your roommate at the time that it would be a financially great decision if I moved in and paid a little
So
bit of the rent.
he basically added you to the lease, and you moved into my bedroom.
We were like, why don't we just live together?
Yep.
And we found the cutest apartment,
Yeah.
and we loved it so much. And it was like,
All of our friends loved it. We were always hanging out there. It was so much fun.
you would do Sunday pancakes.
Yeah.
Pancake Sunday every
Pancake Sunday.
It was like a cool thing. We love hosting, so that was fun. We moved in together, and then in 2017, so 2 years later, I get this instant panic because we had talked about possibly getting married one day. Although Lucy says, I want to get married in like a long time. And if we get engaged, I want to be engaged for like 10 years and then I want to
5.
get married. And I was just like, oh, this lady has a lot of rules. But then we talked about it a bit more and she was not giving up on that. And we then decided that if we were ever going to get engaged, that she would ask me, and I was never going to ask her because that was my rule. Absolutely not. I'm not romantic. It's not happening.
And I was like, cool, I
Don't
got this.
expect it. And she was like, all macho, yeah, I'll do it.
One day.
One day, and I was like, it'll never happen. And then I got really anxious that every time we went out for dinner, she was gonna ask me to marry her in front of people, and how horrific would that be to have to act really happy when I'm stressed? So then I decided in 30 days before we were coming to Australia to visit your family that I was gonna propose in her hometown. And I didn't have any of it planned, so I planned it in under 30 days, and I freaking rocked it.
You did rock it.
We went viral.
So
Is that
much
what that means?
so that we got millions of views on the video that was posted of
Yeah,
our
the
proposal.
videographer posted it before we had told people, and we got people messaging us being like, "You're engaged?" We're like, "Oh yeah." Sorry, everyone saw that. Anyways, it was amazing. It was right when Australia, what's the word?
Legalized gay marriage.
Approved gay marriage. Yeah, so that was really cool. That was in Australia, 2017. I got down on one knee, and then you started singing Beyonce to me.
Yeah.
Did you not? What'd you do?
Yeah, we did the Beyonce dance.
I did nothing.
I was no longer a single lady.
Yeah,
She liked it, so she put a ring on it.
Yeah, so that was fun. Then what did we do? We went home.
We went to Canada.
Your parents came over to Canada, so I'm really close with my mom. Your mom became best friends with my mom. She came over and did like a Canada trip, which was amazing. So our families are really close.
Yeah.
They love each other.
They tight.
They tight. Oh, we went to Mexico with your...
I don't think we need to tell them every single...
No, the point of... I remember being in Mexico, in the beach. Where was that? With all the birds.
The seagulls?
Remember? But we spent most of the time in the water, and you had to hold on to me.
That was our last day, right near where we were staying in that
with
Airbnb.
the chicken place.
With the chicken, yeah.
Yes. So I remember distinctively that in the ocean that day was when we started planning our wedding. So
Yes.
we was like, okay, if we're actually going to get married, we need to like talk about this, and then
I think we
plan it.
said when we get home, let's set a date at least.
Yeah, so we like had it all planned out, and then so that was 2018. In 2019, we decided we were going to get married. So
Turns out that we put the wrong date on our invitations
yeah, we're
anyway.
like, we'll make invitations and we'll invite everyone, and then everyone's like, so you're getting married in October? We're like, no,
September.
and then our invitations actually said October, so we lied. We got married on a hill, and it was friggin' amazing. There was donkeys there.
We have donkey tattoos now.
All of our best friends were there. It was simple. And then we rented like a yoga dance studio for the reception, and it was amazing. We were actually the type of people who were going to be like, we'll just DJ our own wedding. We'll put an iPhone up and we'll play some music and everyone will have a great time. And then what happened?
Our friend Joel had other ideas, and
He was like, that sounds horrific.
he DJ'd and rocked the whole thing, and then we thought to ourselves, what were we ever going to do without a DJ? Thank you, Joel.
Get a DJ for your wedding if you're considering it, or consider not, because it made everything better. And we danced until literally we were
4
like
a.m.
us and your parents and my mom and
Yeah.
our bartenders were the last people, and it was like 4:30 in the morning when we tried to get a cab to our hotel.
Yeah, I'd been gone for 12 years. Never once have I been homesick. And then all of a sudden I felt extremely homesick and was like craving being around family. So you were just like, let's go.
Well, and the idea of like, if you were going to have a baby, which you're going to try first to have the baby, you would like to be around your family. And I was indifferent. I was like, we could have the baby anywhere. Like my mom will travel anywhere to have a baby, to see the baby. So then we decided we're going to move to Australia. So then we got rid of the house. I quit both of my jobs.
We bought one-way tickets.
We bought one-way tickets to Australia. We were going to do this whole thing. 8 days later, or before our flight, COVID happened, and we were now homeless without jobs. And so began our trip along the west coast of Canada, which we will put some footage in because it was friggin' amazing. We spent
Best time.
a year and a bit.
Yeah, we went to Vancouver Island. If you've never been there before, you have to go. Little pocket of the world that has a place like in our heart forever now.
I love it so much. And every month we moved to a new Airbnb. So on the first of the month we would move, we'd live there for a month, we'd pack up, we'd move again and again and again for like over a year.
Which some people think is wild, but we didn't have a home and we didn't know when we were going to be moving to Australia, so we didn't want to lock ourselves in. We were just like, everything's temporary right now.
Yeah, like the moment with COVID that they open up the airports and like the government of Australia you could come home because you were an Australian. I was not. So it was like, well, do you go and then I try to come, or...
It was even hard for citizens to get home. Borders in Australia were like tightly locked. So we just were hanging out in Canada.
Waiting for the call that we would eventually get to come. And that call did not come for a very long time. And we started to think, we cannot possibly wait any longer. This is actually ruining our lives. Not that it's so hard, but like if you're every day waking up like checking to see if a flight is released or if you're able to go after like a year and a half, it's like I don't want to do that and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
And then we said we'll give it one more month, and basically the government of Australia was like, we're releasing these flights, and
they went from extreme lockdowns, like curfews, lockdowns, all these things, to we're opening the borders like next week.
So we thought, cool.
Yep.
We booked a flight.
We booked the first flight we could. We got on over, and we haven't looked back. We've got way too much stuff, in my opinion, but that's just what happens when you go from having minimal belongings and then you have a base and you have a home and you can get those things that you've sort of been wanting. So we're just...
It does feel really good though.
It feels awesome. We're just going with what feels good. I feel like that's how we do life. It's like, what feels good right now, yes or no. If it's a yes, we do it.
It better feel good because I became a resident, which cost thousands and thousands of dollars to do. So now that I'm officially here, we're like all right,
$10,000.
These are our roots. No, we shall set up roots.
At least for the foreseeable future.
But not like in this house. So quickly before we end, do you have any like insight to what's coming?
There are a few things.
What are some things that like we're excited about? And obviously we're very like open to whatever, so we don't ever really know, because I don't think in life anything is like for sure. It's like we could move to Australia, and if we decided we really hated it, we could move to friggin' Amsterdam, like we talked about it. It's like if that doesn't work, like we'll just figure out what works. But we've been here now for just over a year, and already we're like,
we'd be making moves.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving again.
Probably moving again.
Yeah. We don't know when though.
I see for our future some sort of property that we either flip or like massively reno. I see a van.
In the very near future?
In the very near future. I see a little nugget or two.
Not poops.
Possibly.
We would like to have babies.
I see perhaps another doggo. Not as in like in the near future, but like...
Yeah, I would say that in like the next 2 to 5 years, we will probably have 1 or 2 children, probably the same dog that is amazing. Maybe like we'll have her for sure, but like maybe another one, and we'll probably live, I think our goal was within a 10-minute walk to the beach.
We're gonna live by the beach, so stay tuned for that. And I think it's really cool to like document this and then look back on it. There's been so many videos that we've made where we talk about something and then we have to pinch ourselves because we're like, what? This is like moving to Australia, for example. Like, what? This is actually coming true and this is actually happening. And so that's where we're at right now. Trying to live in the now, but also excited about what's to come.
Flies back.
Oh.
You just wanted to be part of it. Anyways, so that is, in a nutshell,
that's
our
us.
relationship, what we're looking forward to. And I mean, we could go on forever, but we won't, because we were supposed to make a 10-minute video, and now it's about 24 minutes without editing, so see you next week. Ooh, what do you want them to do?
Oh, if you are not already subscribed, which I checked, over 3/4 of people who watch these videos are not subscribed. So please, click that little red button down below, hit subscribe, it's completely free. And then you can watch these videos first.
It's very helpful.
And we'll probably have some cool stuff for our subscribers coming soon. So, you want to be there.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Can I have cool things?
Ah!
Okay, bye.